So it should be. And we are live. Good morning, everyone.
We showed up here finally.
Yes,
Yay.
on the delay. Good morning, everyone. It is Friday, September 27th. We are in studio. It is myself, Peter De Quintal, the Star Wars cop, with, I'm going to say you might be my in-studio BFF moving forward, Erin Urquhart. Erin Urquhart, better known as TPS Bike Heart _ Bike Heart. And you can find her still on Instagram. She's there. She's on Twitter. She's on all of your major social media accounts. So, folks, here we are. As you can tell, we've gone back to the Ask a Traffic Cop, which I'm much more pleased with than the Ask a Star Wars Cop. I wasn't wild about the name. So we're going back to Ask a Traffic Cop, and it's with PC Peter De Quintal, and I have, yes, my amazing guest host. Yeah, we're going to go with guest host. I'm going to try to make Erin as regular as I can. And you know what, Erin, maybe you can move in so no one has to see the giant. Yes, and look, we're sitting level today.
Yes, I'm in the big girl chair.
We got our booster seat, and here we go. I see things are coming up through the chat. Akila's in. Good morning, Akila. It is great to see you here. It's always fantastic. Good morning, Tian. Oh, hey, aloha, Sean. Sean is our Force ghost who keeps coming into the studio, and I appreciate him. Sean, if I press this button, did you hear an Ewok? That would be great to know that it was working. But Sean has entered in. It is great to have you, Sean. Good morning, everyone. It's Friday.
It's Friday. It's been a week. And I'm excited it is Friday.
I am too. And it's exciting to have you in here. I'm very appreciative of having someone else in the room because talking to myself hasn't been the ideal. That's probably not the healthiest thing at times.
It's hard. Sean was amazing at it, and he could go with the flow so easily and so naturally. I felt uncomfortable, even though you're talking to people through the screen and on the screen that are popping up in the chat. I don't know. It's just maybe the more you do it, the more comfortable you get with it. Solo, I'm assuming. I used to do it a couple times when Sean's studio used to be in the old location where my desk is now. But
I totally get that. Yeah. It also helps when I actually press go live onto Instagram. Forgot that there for a second. Can she pop?
No Ewok.
No Ewok?
We got
okay. So no, it shows on our. I don't know.
That's
no Ewok.
It sounds like an angry cat.
Someone has asked if you can arrest them.
No, I can't. I don't carry handcuffs, but I could do a civilian arrest if I caught you doing something.
I have a question. Question about what's the law if you have a G2 but you drive and you left your license at home?
Don't you must have your license with you, right? Okay, actually, you know what? You answer this. This is a good discussion topic because I remember years ago, it was a myth that you had 24 hours to present your driver's license.
Correct, you have to present it there, and you
have to have it there on the spot.
The actual physical card, not a picture of it, not a photocopy of it, the actual physical card. So we charge for failed to register a driver's license, regardless of whether or not you're a G2 or a G. So yeah, you have to have your physical driver's license with you. Oh, Sean is saying you actually can arrest. You can do a citizen's arrest. Yes, Sean, she could.
That's what I was saying, but I'm I wouldn't because I don't carry handcuffs. I would call my friends.
If you physically grab them, they are detained, and you could say you're under arrest. And have them
I used to do that in security. I had used
Oh, Erin, we just learned something new.
Yes.
Where did you do security at?
Well, the former Ryerson, now TMU. I was there for 4 years before I came here. You didn't know that? I thought you knew that. Oh.
Sorry, Erin. We're getting to know each other here. I did.
Well, we are besties now, so you should probably know that.
I got to say besties. If my BFF for show is watching this in 31, you are my BFF outside of the studio. Inside the studio, there is Erin and only Erin. You can tell it's an empty room.
Well, we got Elmer and Buddy. Is Buddy here or is Buddy gone?
No, Buddy is in the other corner. And then we got Nubs. If you can see in the left corner of the sign, there's a Jedi there. From Young Jedi, it's Nubs. The reason Nubs is in the room, to be honest with you, was I asked Sean to pick him up, and I thought he was electronic, and he is not. He is just a plushie. So in my disappointment, I've actually abandoned Nubs into the corner of the penalty box because until he can start talking to me and his eyes start blinking, which at this point would be very scary, I'm going to leave Nubs here. But yeah, so this is where Nubs is going to stay for now. But yeah, no, I used to do security myself.
Oh, where did you do it?
I did private security. So I had all 2 weeks on. I was a supervisor at the exhibition during the X. So not for exhibition place, but a security company. I essentially drove a golf cart around all day to people to and from. It was awesome. I got to tell like 17 people where to go, and I only had 2 weeks on. So I'm not speaking to how it is now, but security back then was like, yeah, no. And then I worked at the Royal Ontario Museum. Yeah. I worked there for a year. I worked on a couple of projects. So awesome. Yeah, it was pretty cool.
You know, I know that. Look at us. Look at us learning about each other.
Oh wow! I think you have a fan in El Papa.
Yeah, there. I was reading that.
Let's crazy love story.
Well, I'm not wearing my ring, but I'm spoken for.
She's, the best way of getting her attention is to park illegally, and yeah. But don't, please.
Yeah. Well, for your own benefit and for your wallet's benefit.
Someone is saying that's not Peter. Where's Peter?
What?
Sorry, I can see myself. Not see like unless Erin is.
What?
I don't know. Like, am I in another? No, I'm here.
Yeah.
Yes. Is that Elias? Yeah, Elias. It's Peter. It's Peter. So, yeah. No. What's the penalty for driving without your vehicle interlock after a DUI? I don't know that actually.
Oh, there's a phone there. Is that your phone?
No, that's actually Sean's phone.
Oh.
Keep charge there.
So what am I looking up here?
What's the penalty for driving without your vehicle interlock after a DUI? Hi, what's the fine for driving 18-wheeler with a G1? You can't. You don't have the proper driver's license to have a G1 to drive that. You'd be driving essentially. Yeah, you don't have the proper license to begin with. Why shave your beard?
Oh, they think you're Sean.
But they said, where's Peter?
I know.
That's not Peter. So you might be thinking Sean. So Sean's like slightly taller than me, slightly larger than me. I am not Sean. I haven't had a beard in years. If you've been following me on social media, you would have known. Probably 2 years ago, I had a pretty like decent beard, but yeah, not now.
So
y'all the replacement for the other dude? Absolutely. I am Sean 2.0.
I don't know if that's the way.
If you're driving without an ignition interlock device, your base fines the range are 200 to 20,000 for commercial vehicles, or 200 to 1,000 for other vehicles. So that's thank you. See, this is why Erin in here, and this is why we are BFFs.
I'm the assistant as well.
You just.
I'm the parking intern now.
Look it up through there. Open up the MacBook as well.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
It's faster. Is it though? I don't know. Whatever.
Where is Sean? Oh, okay. So if you pay attention to any of our social media channels, Sean made a goodbye about 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
I have now done this show 3 times, twice with Erin. Because as much as Erin may say she's my assistant or she's whatever, an assistant here. Erin actually runs the show, and she just puts me up in front. She doesn't want to be the face of it. So yeah, and I have a face only a mother can love, but we'll go with that. So yeah, look, Sean can say he's chatting back in the TikTok chat saying, "I'm here." Sean will never leave us. He's here whether he likes it or not. Why do I have to pay to drive on the 407? Well, you can call your local MPP and ask about that. Back when we had a previous conservative government under Mike Harris, we sold the 407 for approximately, I believe at the time, $2 to $3 billion, which is probably worth a heck of a lot more. And that's why you pay FD tolls to use it. You know, I'll be honest with you, I don't ever go on the 407. I went on the 407 once to experience it because I was trying to get to see another friend of mine out in Alliston, and it cost me $35 one way because I apparently went during the high time. And I don't have a transponder, and so it took. There was a cost of taking a plate picture to a cost of not having a transponder, it became a very expensive trip. Whereas I will tell you, when I drive through the States, I will happily go on an easy pass on their toll roads. Like you drive
Couple
over, yeah,
bucks.
it's a couple
Yeah.
bucks. It's a couple bucks American given, but it's
Yeah.
still nothing in comparison to what you pay.
Actually, I might be experiencing some of that next week.
Someone's getting into
road
the
trip.
in politics. It's cheaper to buy back the 407 at 30 billion than to build a tunnel under the 401. Again, you can speak to your local MPP about that. It'll be interesting. I'll be honest with you, to see a tunnel that's 50 kilometers underneath the 401, whether or not it's feasible, is an interesting perspective.
Learning new things.
Sean, I think the dude's saying, enjoy your retirement. How do I complain about a speed camera? There would be options on that. Receive a ticket in the mail and go about that. What is your exact complaint? Like you don't like it ticketed by a speed camera, you don't like its placement.
It's also a city program and has nothing to do with police. Well, it does have something to do with police as we enforce. Well, they enforce speed. I enforce parking.
Really, yeah, but it's run by the city.
It's
We don't
initiative
have,
by the
yeah,
city.
we don't have anything really to do with it. We don't maintain the cameras. We don't do anything. We don't put the cameras in or any of that kind of stuff. That's run by the city. And for those of you who think it's a tax grab, the only way the tax grabs you is if you're speeding.
Yeah.
So I'm all for it. I would love the idea. I know the mayor has recently approached the idea of putting cameras for the box, so the stay out of the box in the intersection as lights change and blocking off traffic. And we recently raised the fines. I'm all for that. If you can't understand the basic rules of the privilege of driving in the province of Ontario, then tickets will come your way. So yeah.
I feel wrong. Yeah, we already addressed that.
Sean's saying he's going to be going live on his own show. Everyone should have a dash cam. I would agree. Everyone should have a dash cam. I have a dash cam. My dash cam's old though, because I can have the ability. I was looking at them yesterday, like the Wi-Fi thing. I'd actually have to take out the SD card out of it to watch the video. But it's pretty amazing what your dash cam will pick up. But I don't know, Erin, I feel bad because I know you wanted to make this fun because it's Friday.
Oh, that's fine. I'm having fun just sitting here watching.
Watching the screen.
I like people watching
and
comment watching. It's one of my favorite things to do.
Steven says good morning to us. Good morning, Peter and Erin. Good morning. Good morning. It's always a pleasure. Does an officer still have?
That's a good question.
Does an officer still have to review footage from a speed camera, or is it a ticket automatically sent? It's not. I don't believe officers have anything to do with it. It's completely done by the city. So the city issues the ticket, and then I'm not sure honestly how you can fight it. But yeah, we don't review the video in general.
Oh, there's a question for me.
Oh, someone else has said they have contacts at automated enforcement within the city who can show them. So we can set up have them show. That would actually be very cool. If you could email me that, I'd actually love that because the goal is I would love to have more themed things. So I have some in here and speak to that, and they can answer questions from folks about that particular thing. Is Erin assigned a vehicle for the colder months?
It depends. If there's one available. The unique thing about my platoon is we're a Monday to Friday platoon. We're considered a walking and riding platoon mostly. So most officers either get dropped off if they're not on a bike and they're walking for the day. They get dropped off at a post and they get picked up at the end of the day. And there's one transporter that transports multiple officers. But I would say I've had my 9 years on. So if I were to ask for a vehicle on a very cold day, that they would probably help me out. Again, if it's available. But I've had plenty of winters where I am riding in minus 10-degree weather when the roads are nice and dry and safe to ride. Just gotta layer up. Do you like riding in the winter when you were on the bike?
I love riding, period.
Yeah.
Riding was awesome.
Yeah.
I wasn't wild about it, I'll be honest with you, winter.
It's cold.
Certain parts of the, I worked in 12th Division. Everything is a hill.
Yeah.
The moment you leave that station, everything is a hill.
Yeah.
An incline, decline, like everything's leading to something. So we didn't always usually ride in the winter because honestly, it was already challenging to begin with. So yeah.
Yeah. Once it gets to like, I'm sorry to cut you off, just to add to that. Once it gets to like -10, that's when I like stop riding. It's too cold. Like you're out there for like 30 minutes and your limbs start to get very, very cold.
Just saying.
Anyways, moving on.
If it's a weekend, you still have to do 40 in a school zone.
Yes.
100%. Unless there's some sort of exemption to it. Like there's a sign that says, it's only enforceable during the school operation, something like that. Yeah, you're gonna have to do 40 is 40. And it's interesting that 40 in a school zone, most of them are down to 30 now. And yes, you have to do that 30. And for folks who say that's a crawl, realize the impact you may have on somebody else. I'd more likely survive if you made the mistake and collided with me. If you're doing 30 than a 40. So that's why they're dropped down to you. And they're only in schools. It's not a huge area. So yeah. Mikey, I will have to look that up on the reviews of the dash cams. I appreciate that. Where can I park an RV after 9 p.m.?
Yeah, I saw that question. Well, honestly, the city bylaw is no more than 3 hours citywide. So you would have, I don't know, an RV, a parking lot, I would suggest that, allows you to park overnight, because majority, like I said, the city bylaw for parking overnight without any other posted signage is no more than 3 hours. So ultimately, if you park on any street overnight after 9 p.m., you can get a ticket if you're parked for more than 3 hours, no matter the size of the vehicle.
And there you go. Someone says, I've noticed recently that many cars intentionally drive without working taillights at night. I have
my pet peeve. I hate cars with lights off.
Lights off is one thing, but that means your front headlights aren't working, other than running lights. I haven't actually seen that. I don't know why you would do it. You're more likely to get into a collision because you're not as invisible. But I haven't seen that. I'll keep an eye on it. I drive every morning, so I come into this station at 6 o'clock in the morning. I can assure you it's dark, especially with days getting shorter now as we're heading further and further into the fall, getting our way to start of winter at some point. But yeah, sunset's 7:15, 7:20. It's really, really.
Yeah, it gets dark really, really early too.
I like this. Hey, Justin. Hey, it's Mr. De Quintal. I remember you from Hallways of St. Mary's.
Aww.
Yeah. So if you don't know, actually, I got hired directly from there. I used to be I just started university. I was working as full time as what was called a secondary school supervisor.
Okay.
Which is glorified. I'm essentially a glorified hall monitor.
Okay.
I walked around, shirt and tie, and just made sure kids were in class, nothing was going on. I'd say we had a great year. I can say in my year that we never had a single flare actually break out in the hallways. Kids knew to take it off the property, but then they would tell me about it, which got me in trouble with the administration at the time. And I worked for two different principals, and one of my principals went to be the director of education for Waterloo Catholic Board, and my other, Adrian Delamora, is now like the equivalent of like the second in charge of Toronto Catholic. He was my reference to get on this job. So yes, I did one of those halls, and I also was a student there. So
cool.
Came full circle there. I was working at the ROM. I'd work there Monday to Friday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'd work at the ROM doing security.
Wow.
I worked 7 days a week.
Days.
Yeah. I was young. I was up for that, and really, I wanted the money. So
yeah.
So
I have lots of questions today.
Are you guys going to ignore controversial questions? I don't know what you're asking, Ricky. You got to realize, Ricky, I don't know what you're on, but we have multiple chats going up here, and there are multiple things going on. So I can't necessarily.
I caught what they were asking earlier. If you would like me to.
What was
they were asking so cops can drive however they in non-emergency situations because you've had 6 months of training.
I wouldn't say we drive however we want, follow the rules. And I will be honest with you, it's called police vehicle operations. It's actually pretty intense. So to be a police officer, you also have to get qualified to drive a police car. Just like our civilians, they actually have to go through a training as well to be able to drive a car. So even if you have your G license and even a full license for however many years, you actually have to get specifically trained to drive a police car because of driving circumstances we're in, responding to emergency calls, all those things play factors. Understand the rules, like rules of the road amongst, we do drive on slick track and all that kind of stuff. And, part of our training, I'll be honest with you, one of the most fun things was we stayed on closed track at OPC, which is the Ontario Police College out in Elmer. And just so we know anyone who is wanting to be a police officer, the only way you get to Elmer is you have to be hired by a police service first. Then you go out to Elmer. You are there with hundreds of other recruits from across the province. We are all getting a standard training. And one of those things is police vehicle operations. So you get to learn how to drive a police car. There are some awesome things. When I went, we would do like high-speed pursuits. You'd have a walk. So imagine like a cooking walk.
Oh,
it's like magnetized to the hood.
Oh,
you have to keep a tennis ball in it.
Oh,
and the tennis ball cannot fall out.
That's cool.
It is intense. It is awesome, and you truly learn how. And back then we were driving a giant Crown Vics.
Yeah.
And I will say I kind of miss the days of Crown Vics because they were boats and they were terrible in the winter. But man, the amount of storage and comfort, even as someone who's under arrest, the alleged criminal was in the back. I thought it was pretty roomy. However, I would say now with the Ford Explorers, we're kind of back to that. The Ford Tauruses were tight for us up front. Taurus. So yeah, if you haven't seen it, Sean, Tracy is good morning. Is it true you cannot use your Google Map on your phone unless there is a screen on the car? No, you can use it on your phone. You can mount it to your dash. So for instance, I don't use Google. I use Waze. I'm not trying to promote one way or another, but I use Waze every day. I use Waze to come into work. I know exactly how to get here. However, I put it onto my phone. The reason being is just in case there's a traffic jam or whatever, I want to be able to see it and know an alternate route is coming. Otherwise, I'm going to just drive and hope that every morning is the same, which predominantly it is. Or if there's a collision or whatever, I want that alternate route, and I just want it working in the background so I don't have to figure it out or get stuck in traffic. But as long as it's mounted to your dash and you're not touching it or it's just there and it's going, yeah, you can have Google Maps. You can have whatever you have. Whatever other map. I used to have a TomTom back then. And the only reason I had a TomTom was because you can change voices, which you can do now.
You can do that on Waze too.
Yeah, no. I have
Christina Aguilera.
Oh, do you? So I have Jack Black.
Okay.
Awesome. It's Jack Black from Kung Fu Panda.
Okay.
And I will tell you, my vehicle that appears on the screen is the Ecto-1 from Ghostbusters.
Oh my god.
I used to have Master Chief, which is Halo.
Not a gamer girl.
That's really disappointing.
Super Nintendo. That's all I got.
Wow, we're totally dating ourselves now. So yeah, I have Jack Black because I'll be honest with you, the commentary is awesome, and it is hilarious.
Yeah.
Whereas some of the other ones aren't. The reason I had a TomTom, you had to pay for it back then, was I had Darth Vader as the voice. They had two options. They had Darth Vader or Yoda. You have to pay for them separately. And Yoda, my issue with Yoda was, if you've ever heard Yoda speak, not necessarily like correct.
Is it very slow?
We're going to make a left turn. No, left turn you will. So I was like, you know what? I don't want to get frustrated while I'm driving. It was so I kept it far beyond it.
Hearing you through the camera.
It comes up on the roadie, on the roadie. So can you not hear? I don't know. It's showing on the screen. It's working.
Oh, moderator just.
Okay. We can hear you. Just sounds
weird sometimes.
Okay, I apologize. Maybe my voice is cracking.
I don't know.
Sorry. And someone else says, fix your microphone. Lots of distortion.
Well, that happening the whole time.
So this is where we need.
We need an AV tech in here. We need an audio visual tech.
That's what we need in here. I don't know if it sounds any better. I apologize. Didn't hear any tapping at all. Tracy, it's like a helicopter. I feel like I'm in MASH. The helicopter is like
maybe should we tap the actual Sony mic and see if that's what's. I don't know.
Rosewood. I'm not sure you're hearing from the road. Click the gear check input. Oh, Sean, why you gotta be like that? What is the gear check?
Should we pause the live for a second? We can do that. Or actually, I
What
don't
can
know
I
if
do
it
to stop someone driving on my sidewalk to bypass a speed bump? Um, you call your local division. I believe you can call your local division. I believe they might have traffic complaints officers again, and they can look into it if you tell them what's going on. This is like an 808, 22 kind of thing, and tell them the time frame. Like if it's just the odd time, it's hard to police. But yeah,
Sorry, I'm just trying to read as well. Hmm. What? People do that? Sorry, what can I do to stop someone driving on my
that's what I was talking
sidewalk?
about. That's what I was addressing.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, there's a lot going on.
I got is my mic okay, Sean?
Yeah, see, I can hear your. I don't know.
Well,
Do you
we
hear
can
mine
hear,
tapping?
we can hear ourselves, but it's a bit distorted.
Hello, all. Thank you, Akila. I just read that. I appreciate that very much. Thank you. Am I cutting out for anyone else? So, Tracy, do I sound any better now, Tracy? Can you hear me clearly? Oh, Tracy's saying, pay attention, Erin.
I'm sorry. I'm in vacation mode. I'm off after this
Evening
today.
Partners, South Simcoe. Sorry.
Oh,
South Simcoe.
Partners.
Oh, Evening Partners. Okay, I'm gonna go with that. I'm like, hold on, South Simcoe.
I don't know why I read that in an accent.
Still,
Evening Partners.
Still the same. I don't know what you're Tracy. I'll be honest with you. I'm gonna hire an AV guy to come tell me what's going on.
Oh, he said he was calling the desk. I think he's calling the desk phone. We can't. Is it on silent?
Probably. Oh, the desk phone that still got your name on, Sean? Yeah, that one. I don't know. If you call it again, maybe we can pick it up. But I don't know what you're talking about, like trying different things. To me, honestly, it sounds perfectly fine. I can put it louder in my ear, but maybe this is why you don't also hear the sounds like when I do that.
Yeah, only we can hear that.
Yeah, only we can hear that. Did anyone hear any Star Wars sounds?
Oh, that's
Stand
what.
by. No, okay, so that was another. I'm not sure what I just did there.
I think that was the delay, and I think that's how people are hearing us.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
Aaron's cutting out too. So that might also just be beyond the microphones. That could be a connection issue. I realized I went back and watched my first show totally on my own, and I now totally appreciate what people were saying about the sound issues. If a cop pulls me over and asks where was I going or where I'm coming from, do I have to answer? If they're pulling you over, I'm going to tell you it's probably not the only reason you're pulling over. It depends. If you're going through a rights spot check, and if they're pulling you over, they probably are initiating contact for some other purpose and some other offense. So I can't really speak to the fullness of that. Yeah. Okay. How do you prefer joining? How do you join?
Hi. Do you prefer?
Hi. Do you prefer?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Hi. Do you prefer joining in auxiliary? We just actually had an auxiliary. She's a Toronto paramedic now and was finding it was too busy to be between the two of them. So she resigned yesterday. It was a sad day to see her go. But an auxiliary is an excellent opportunity. We are always looking for auxiliary. I'm going to tell you I have a personal preference to auxiliaries that are available on Monday to Friday because I run a lot of programs and I need support during Monday and Friday. Auxiliaries are fantastic. And so that's the support I would ideally like to see. But yeah, auxiliary is a great opportunity to come in. Tom, who was here before, would have told you he was an auxiliary. He started with the service. It's an auxiliary. So yeah. Maybe we should go to this pin.
Yeah, I just saw that. I was like, oh, we have good ones. Oh, I think we've answered some of these.
That one.
John, that's a good question. John?
Yeah. John, I see yours. Is it illegal to have the rear cab bed light on while driving? So you can't project anything to the rear other than like your red light or your license plate. thing, your license plate, like the light that illuminates your license plate, as well as you can only ever have white lights when you're reversing. So I believe that may be legal, but I have to check that up. I'll be honest with you. I'll have to get my assistant. It's not trying to hint at anything to look that up. So we already answered the interlock, so it'd be 2002. We answered that one. What's the penalty for driving without a current registration, and does it affect your insurance? That's a paperwork one. So in general, what's the current? I think it's like a $65 ticket on CD registration. It's not a huge fine, but it can lead to other things. That would say you have to update it for X amount of days. Update it to whether or not you're the owner of it, to changing your address and stuff. So I apologize. I'm trying to keep up, and there's a lot going on.
Yeah, there's no like.
What can we do to prevent home invasions for keys to cars? So there's been this. Just kidding. There are a ton of ways. If you're looking to, on your own security thing, I would tell you this can come down to a crime. So have your house well lit, lights are on at all times. Get yourself security cameras. All these things are deterrents, right? Like you can even buy a bullard. People were buying bullards at one time. You can know what a bullard is. It's a composite. You can have them mounted onto your driveway, like that. You can, yeah. There's so many things. I know at one point there was the suggestion of if you leave your cars closer to the front keys to the front door, someone can just when you avoid that whole situation. I think that's become lesser of an issue lately because many of those people have been getting arrested or arrested multiple times, and so we're trying to catch up with that. But I'm not 100% sure. If I lane split or lane filter on a motorcycle on the road or highway to avoid a collision or being rear-ended, would I get a ticket? If you did it in a safe fashion, probably not. If you're doing it in unsafe fashion, yes, you can get careless or dangerous. There could be a charge. So that's for motorcycle experience. Yeah.
I couldn't find an answer to that online. There was like 30 million different questions and articles related to it that came up.
Can I submit dash footage to be used to give ticket for driving offenses? So Nikki, there's a whole bunch of issues when someone, because it has to be. I'm not going to say no to it. Dash cam footage to be used to give a ticket for driving offenses. So an officer actually has to witness it for a driving offense. Your dash cam video can be used afterwards, but we can't base it on that alone because there's date stamping, when it was taken and all that. Like there's a whole bunch of other factors to it, whether or not it's properly date stamped, the time is accurate, all these things, words are camera facing, blah, blah, blah. So it would have to be witnessed in general by an officer, but it could be supporting to that. What are the legal tint limits in Ontario? I feel like I've answered this question. Not today, though.
Yeah.
So what are legal tint? So technically, yes, 30% is something we will tell you. 30%. However, realize when it gets 30% is 30%, there's a technical thing. However, it's up to the discretion of the officer whether or not they can actually see. And the whole thing is, can the officer identify the driver or the passenger? So on your front and rear, on your front passenger and driver side windows, you can have tint up to 30%. Yes. However, if I pull up beside you and I can't clearly identify you or what is going on there, then it's going to get you a ticket. It becomes my discretion. And realize 30% becomes dark at night. It becomes a greater issue. And so, yeah, 30% is great during the day, potentially. At night, it becomes even darker, and you're most likely to get a ticket if that officer so decides. What will become a UC or
I don't know what IF stands for.
Informant?
Oh,
for the Toronto Police?
Well, UC. Well, there's a course.
Undercover. So if you became an undercover for the Toronto Police, so you be an officer, you have to become a police officer first. In general, you have to do at least 3 years on the road, and then you go off to a squad, for instance, like drug squad or something like that, where they have UC officers.
But there is a course that you have to do.
Yes.
Just because one of my
I took it. It's pretty awesome.
I heard it's a lot of fun.
It is, because you get out there with the binoculars and you try to watch these hand-to-hand. It's pretty cool. We do it usually at the Ontario Police College, and we do it in the back parking lot. So we're on our own secure property, but you're watching my thing. Yeah, I took it years ago. And I remember being there and all the recruits staring out the glass, like as if they were like glued to it, just like looking at it to see what's going on. Because I get it. It's kind of cool.
We get to see what they could be doing in a couple of years.
It was also slightly distracting to all of us when you watch like 60 recruits all looking outside, and you're trying to explain to them, we're just doing some training. So I took care of that one. Okay, so we're down to Star Wars jokes and a dad joke. What time were we at? Out of curiosity.
We are at 1:45. Yeah.
I appreciate it, Kayla. I will use these. I'm just going to try to now catch up on what is going on in some of these other chats.
Sorry, just looking. You're just like
the way I'm crouching down. I'm like, what can I do here? Can we go no more than 16% 100 kilometer zones on the highway? So if you're asking, can you do 16 kilometers over the posted speed limit? Your car can. Whether or not you're going to get charged, you'd most likely. The speeding is going to. So the moment you go over 100 kilometers, you're breaking the law. You're doing 101 and 100, you're breaking the law. I would tell you, I would give you a ticket for 16 over because it's 3 points. It's already getting into a more major offense, and so I would give you the ticket. However, do I understand people driving on the highway, and God bless the people who drive way faster than what the posted speed limit is. And I can only imagine your insurance. And if you wonder why insurance rates are terrible, take a look at what's going around and also take a look at the way you're driving. Because I know I watch people come up to stop signs all the time, and stop signs become stop signal if no one's around, or if I'm just going to keep going because, the car in front of me stopped, so that must mean I can continue as well. Mm-hmm. You have to cut to your own individual stop as well. So that was a question in our Instagram, and I was just trying to catch up to some of the things. How much? Oh, I think it's the same person. How much above 100 can I go on a 400 series? You can do 100. It really is going to come down to the officer's discretion. What is the flow of traffic? Are you sticking out because maybe you're going too fast and you're attracting attention? And it depends on the 400 series, depending to where you are. Some are a pilot project. That's certainly not bothered. It could be 100 or it could be 110. Watch what the posted speed limit is in that area. And since it's private, does the 407, do you control it? The OPP, so I don't, do you mean by enforcement? Sorry, go ag on Instagram. So the OPP do enforcement on the 407. So regardless of it being technically private, because you pay the toll to a private company. Yes, the OPP do go out and enforce on the 407. So it doesn't mean it's just a free for all. This isn't the Autobahn. U-turn not clear. Some intersections have a sign for and not allowed, and U-turns and some. So in general, you can do a U-turn as long as it's safe to do it. So there are things you can do 30 meters from another intersection or an incline. There are different factors. If it clearly says there are no U-turns, you can't do it there. But if it doesn't and it's safe and you're following the guidelines to do that, U-turn on that one. I'll be honest with you, the whole idea of reading these little screens. Oh, he's saying he's new to the country. So the same person. So yes, I am seeing your questions. I just don't know what time your questions come in, because especially on Instagram, it's not like they're timestamped. Neither is it on TikTok. So I don't know if I'm 10 to 15 minutes behind or half hour behind. And I'm trying to watch TikTok, YouTube, and a few other things where questions come through. So I'm trying to get to the Instagram questions. I'm new to this country. Usually people hit 110 to 120 on the highway. Everyone falls behind. I'm not going to disagree with that, but be careful. If everyone else is doing it, doesn't mean you do it at the same time. It comes back to that old thing our parents would say, everyone else jumps off a bridge. Do you jump off the bridge? Erin's not going to answer that. Erin's like, yeah, I jumped off that bridge a couple of times. Um,
I have jumped off a bridge before, actually.
have you?
Yeah, when I was a kid.
Oh,
Like a small, like up in like cottage country. It was like just like a small little. They had a big bridge and a small bridge. And I went off the small bridge.
I did bungee jumping.
Yeah, we talked about this,
yeah.
and I was like, that's something I would.
In my younger days, I'm not going to tell you how. Yes, I did bungee cord jumping over the Ottawa River. Went to a place called Winter's Tours where we went whitewater rafting. If you've never been, and, I was a kid, and as a kid, adult, whatever. Essentially, my brother was going to do bungee cord jumping, and I refused to have my brother one up me. So I did bungee cord jumping. Am I terrified of heights? To a point, but I will also be one up. So, can the MTO pull over trucks? 100%. MTO can actually pull over your vehicle. They believe it's unsafe. I've spoken about this in a previous show. My own experiences with the MTO. I used to work for a delivery company, and if it's not moving, it's not making money. So you do a circle check in the morning. None of the things I would have said were like, I had brakes and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But I can remember I used to drive up to like Huntsville. One of my delivery days was up in Huntsville, and I didn't have running lights, for instance. I got pulled over by the MTO, never knowing who the MTO is, and I also learned the term green hornets. Watch out for the green hornets, which I never knew until I was delivering up north. And yeah, I got pulled over by them, and then they took my vehicle onto the side of the road. They ran a whole bunch of things, which I was like, oh, this isn't going to go well. But I had a pretty good time. Like, they were really nice about it, to be honest with you. They're like, honk your horn. I'm like, the horn doesn't work. He's like, just press the button. And he's like, meet. Yeah. And then I had these barrels of towels in the back, like these giant blue barrels. And he's like, what's holding it down? I'm like, gravity. And he was like, what happens if you were to get into a collision and you hit the brakes and those barrels came flying towards you? I was like, a bad day?
That would suck.
Yeah, it would suck. I'll be honest with you. The barrels were super heavy. I didn't really think about it, but then within a couple of days, I had strength to kind of hold them down. Securing it. My favorite part went underneath the truck. And he's going, he's like, it's never good when I'm spinning underneath your truck. I guess I came to realize I had a small line, like, and I was like, okay. And I'm like, I have no idea what happens. Well, I could charge you and charge the company. And I'm like, I'm really young. I don't really want this charges, but charge the company because I've told them a million times there's issues with the truck and people don't listen. And I'll tell you, they're a large company. But if it's not on the road, money, I won't tell you who the company is because I'm not looking to get me in trouble here on the show. But yes, the MTO can pull over a car. They can pull over a truck. I've done blitzes in the past. So we used to do roadside blitzes. So we would basically go up and down the surrounding area and pull over trucks. And once I make the demand, yes, the truck has to follow me to where it's designated. And so they would get there, and I would have like 8 officers from the Ministry of Transportation there, inspectors who would do vehicle inspections. And I will tell you, it was interesting to see some of the nicest new trucks were the ones that failed. And some of the trucks that looked like they were absolutely hanging on by Band-Aids were like, no, it passed. But when we did, we had a 65% failure rate. Now, a failure rate could be you didn't have rear light. A rear light out makes you fail because they consider it a safety issue. And they actually have to have a mechanic come on roadside and fix that light before they actually leave the lot. It was very cool to see. And I used to love doing it because honestly, all I really had to do was go find a vehicle, bring them back, and the MTO did everything. And they went through a whole inspection. Very cool. They used to do big inspections at like Canada's Wonderland and stuff, like collaboration and stuff. And we have our own inspectors who are qualified here at Traffic Services to do the exact same thing as well. But yes, so they can, long and short.
Just to follow up on that, person asked, can they pull over a car for speeding, the MTO? Or is it just for like inspection purposes?
They do it for inspection. I don't really
enforce like
I don't think they have the ability.
HTA?
I honestly don't know anyone from the MTO. Reach out. I've never seen the MTO pull over anyone for speeding because usually what you're doing is you're coming into their own designated spots on the side of the highway, flashing lights, you pull over and you come into them. And they're usually looking for safety issues like safety things with particular trucks. I don't think speeding. I've never seen them pull over for someone for speeding. Then again, would I know that? No. I have my pal if I see a police officer who pulled their gun on a suspect, am I able to assist the officer in making arrest or using my gun with the officer? So yes, you can help the officer to a point. Be careful. Tell them you're coming, because last thing I need is when I'm effecting an arrest, I have someone just jump out of nowhere. I don't know if you were a friend or foe.
First of all, what's a PAL?
It's a license to have a firearm. And just so we're clear, I don't have a PAL, and I'm a police officer, and I have a firearm because I use it in my job. Correct. I don't have to. And I don't have a PAL on my own because I don't carry firearms, so I don't go shooting. It's not my thing.
So is that
but I would tell you, no, you cannot use my gun with the officer. No. However, can you assist him with the arrest? Absolutely. But just make sure the officer knows you're coming, because at that time it is high tension, high risk, and yeah, I'm going to be at an elevated workload at that moment, and so you coming out, I don't know if you're friend or foe. So make sure the officer knows what's coming their way. Check on Instagram again, make sure. Sorry, folks. I'm not trying to ignore any particular thing, and that's why I keep going back from Instagram to like TikTok and YouTube. Thankfully, the moderator does put some highlights of the questions, but it's hard to kind of keep up with everything. So please don't take it offensive. If I miss you, this show will be on. I think we're going to aim for about maybe 2 to 3 times a week, as many times as Erin can come in, because I don't want to run without Erin. But I do have another partner who's going to be coming in, John Carlo Morelli. He's going to love that I just gave him his 15 seconds of fame by saying his name. I think I said it properly. He would have been here. You would have seen him a couple weeks ago. Me and Sean were on the show, and we had him sit back there. He actually asked to come on today. The issue is, if he sits back there, he's not really part of the show, and I feel terrible. And then, like the chair right now, it's blocking my sign that says July away. I didn't want to be blocking that sign.
Well, are we ever going to do like an actual like table talk show? Use this table? I don't know. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry.
Wow, Erin, we've worked together twice, and we're here. I've made you level with me. I've like moved myself off to the side so that you can be here, and now we're equals. And now you're looking really demanding.
Knock it off.
We will use that table at some point. I have every intention of sitting there and doing it. But can I get comfortable here first?
Okay.
Erin, now we're even giving me the hand thing. I feel like we're in like a domestic relationship here. Wow.
Our first bestie fight.
We're fighting? I'm going to tell you, the dude who is Ray Finkel, can Ray Finkel drive a car with the laces out? I love the Ray Finkel comments. If you don't know what Ray Finkel is, Ray Finkel was an imaginary character created for Ace Ventura.
Okay.
Ace Ventura, the whole
I
thing.
remember Ace Ventura.
The whole thing circled around Ray Finkel and laces out. If you were a Dolphins fan, which I would hope many of you are, not a Buffalo Bills fan, for those of you who are Buffalo Bills,
Ooh.
I will tell you, you got a better team going. 100%. 100%. I just, it's the rivalry. And Dolphins are just awesome this season because Tua is gone. But yeah, yes, you can drive a car with laces out. That would be the ideal. I'd like you to be wearing shoes and having your laces out. Oh, there it is. Ray Finkel is based off Scott Norwood of the Buffalo Bills. I didn't even know that. And the fact that it mocks a Buffalo Bill player makes it even that much better. And I now have a whole new respect level for that movie. But maybe we should get to a couple of these Star Wars dad jokes, because otherwise we're going to be here all day. And I did promise that we would keep it tonight to 11 a.m. is 11 a.m., regardless of whether or not I have technical difficulties at the beginning. And I'm assuming folks can hear my mic clearly. I sound clear to myself. But that could just be my inner thoughts going.
I'm going to check out the repost restream after and see what we sound like.
Thank you. She is my official
I'll let you
reviewer.
know.
Whether or not I get on that, I will know. So for Michaela, we have a dad joke. What do you call a pen when it stops rolling? Stationary.
Yeah, I was reading it, but I was waiting for like.
Hold on.
Like, am I supposed
Damn. I would.
No one can hear it.
No one can hear it,
but
I still press the buttons for it anyways. At least unlike the last time, you won't see me lip sync the song, and no one else can hear it.
That. We won't do that today.
I appreciate that one. Thank you so much. What do you call James
Oh,
Bond
that's-
taking a bath?
007.
I love that we even said it in sync.
Yeah.
Whereas my kid would say Jinx.
Double jinx.
Jinx, and then you'd have to be quiet until someone said your name. And my kids will sit there and they'll
I
be
remember,
like super.
oh my gosh, they still do that. I used to do that when I was a kid.
Absolutely.
Ugh.
Kids still do it. I love watching my kids do it. And then I will never call their name because I know exactly what's going on. And I'm like, silence is key.
Yeah.
And then my littlest one will be like pulling on my shirt and she'll be like, I'm like, sorry, I can't hear you. Can you say anything? Are you okay?
So pure and innocent. I love it.
Yeah. Why do droids have insomnia? They're too wired to fall asleep. Is that like a little snort?
Yeah, that
there?
was
There's a little snort there.
little
Look at
snort.
that, Akila. I've learned now you can get a little snort.
Well, it's better than my cackle. But if I laugh really hard, I literally cackle.
Okay, so folks, we have a goal here to really get Erin to laugh uncontrollably so we can get that cackle. Maybe we'll save it for like October 31st. We'll do
It
a
is
show
a
on
spooky
Halloween.
season, which is my favorite. So there's that.
Take that one down. Oh.
All right, we got 2 minutes. Oh, wait, we got a dad joke too.
Oh, we got. Hold on. Oh, God. I'll put that one up there. There's another one. Ooh. I went to a sale. Everything was half off. Do you know what that is?
I'm not. No.
You're not a Star Wars fan. Okay, so moving forward, we will only have people in studio who understand Star Wars.
Well, I guess our bestie relationship is no more.
It's over. It's over. Or we can just binge Star Wars together, and we'll watch it and we'll live stream it together. Everyone will just get opinions, and yeah. So Darth Maul was a Sith character in what is episode 1 of The Phantom Menace.
Okay.
And Darth Maul ends up getting chopped in half at the end of it by Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Gory.
Yeah, it's Star Wars, so there's really no blood.
Okay.
However, I will tell you, Darth Maul does come back. He gets robotic legs later on in the animated series. I went to and Maul's partly Darth Maul,
okay.
and everything was half off.
Okay, that makes sense now. I get it now. Thank you for the education.
I love it. I love it. We're gonna make a Star Wars fan out of you yet. That's gonna be our goal. So, click on it. I was adopted by aliens. They made me do homework, clean my room. Turns out I was on the mothership.
That's cute.
Very cute. I can actually use it with my kids. I love that. Thank you so much. Anyways, folks, we are now just past 11 a.m. I'm going to say thank you so much to everyone who's watched. Thank you so much to Erin, my studio BFF, coming out. I'm going to try to make her more of a regular because I appreciate not being in the studio by myself and having some good laughter. And we do know now we have a couple of things. We have to get her to be a Star Wars fan, which is like priority number 1. And priority number 2 is we need to hear this cackle. So, folks, I challenge you. You got to put out some great jokes because we got a little bit of a snort today. We definitely have to get the cackle. But anyways, thank you so much for watching Ask a Traffic Cop with myself, Peter De Quintal, and my amazing BFF,
Erin Urquhart. TBS
Yes, TBS Bike Heart. And yes, she is on Instagram and all your social media. I am Star Wars Cop on X and TikTok. I put a whole lot on TikTok, but X, I try to put out stuff. Most of my stuff is like self-motivation, feeling good about yourself, being awesome in the world. And folks, thank you so much. And if you can, please go out and donate blood. If you are eligible, there is always a need. For every single donation, you can save up to the minimum of 3 lives. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. And all the best to all of you. Take care.